Hey guys, Cal here today with the all-new redesigned 2025 Chevy Equinox, and today I'm here to figure out, is this better than the old Equinox? Should you go ahead and pick yourself up a 2025, or is the 2024 model just as good? Let's find out. All right guys, and before we get started, I did go ahead and print out the window sticker for us here so we can get a better look at it without any of the sun glare. You'll see all your warranty info over here. You will see the powertrain up here, that 1.5 liter turbo that we had in the last generation. Exterior color is mosaic black and the interior is black as well. You'll see a short little breakdown of the added options right there, as well as the final MSRP right there. I was very surprised at that low MSRP, I'm going to call it, because it seems like the price of everything is getting so high so quickly nowadays. So I thought that the price of this new Equinox was going to be through the roof, but Chevy has kept it a reasonable sticker price. So that is really, really cool to see. You'll see all your options down here. Yeah, that 11-inch driver information center, that 11.3-inch touchscreen in the center right there. So there is all your info on the window sticker for you guys to look at if you want to pause it. All right guys, so starting up in the front of the brand new Equinox here, you will see this very modern new fascia. I like it. It's very fresh looking, very crisp looking. I love what they've done with the grille here. You'll see that these slats kind of go in and then come back out. I really like the touches of chrome on there on this LT model. You'll see that you do have the LED turn signal and LED daytime running light all in one up on the top, just like they have on the new body style Traverse. And then if we come down here, you'll see that the LED projector headlamp is very good looking down there, has this little Chevrolet imprint within the headlamp housing. I thought that was kind of very modern, very cool looking right there. And then down here you do have your fog lights as well. And then in the center down here, your little intercooler grill, that's all just a flat black plastic down at the bottom here. And then moving around to the side of the Equinox, you'll see that the body cladding from the front bumper comes up around the wheel wells here, continues down the bottom right here, and then you'll see it goes over the rear wheel as well, and then wraps into the rear bumper. These are the 17-inch Grazen metallic machine-faced aluminum wheels, as they're called on the window sticker. So I really do like the look of these wheels on this new body style Equinox. I think it gives it a very, again, just modern look. I think they did a great job at making this whole SUV just look so sharp. And then on your side mirrors here, you will see that this particular LT model does have these little cameras under the mirrors, because this one does come with the $1,085 safety and technology package, which does come, as you can see, with that HD surround vision. So that's a part of that package. I do want to say that the blind zone alert is standard at this point. And then what I do like is they do have, of course, passive entry on your two front door handles, just like they have in the past. But this Equinox badge right here, they've made it a little bigger. They've kind of changed the font just a little bit. And then on your C-pillar back here, this little touch right here, this looks just like what they just did with the styling of the brand new Chevy Traverse as well. That little, we kind of call it a shark fin, because you'll see the window comes in through that section and continues to this window. So I like that little back section there they've done. And on your rear here, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. These taillights do look very similar to the ones that are on the brand new Traverse and the new Blazer EV. So I really like these new taillights. Definitely gives it an awesome look back here. Every angle I look at on here, even this cool little, you know, bottom of the bumper or diffuser, well, I mean, whatever you want to call it down there, it is just every angle on this new SUV. All I can say is modern. Just the whole outside looks so good. Okay guys, now we're taking a look under the hood of the brand new 2025 Chevy Equinox, and you will see the 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that we're pretty familiar with, because this has been in a lot of other Chevy models like the Chevy Equinox for the past 7 or 8 years, or the Chevy Malibu. So we're pretty familiar with this engine. Now on the front wheel drive models, you are going to be getting a CVT transmission. I myself am not really a fan of CVT transmissions. I have heard some bad things about them over the years. So personally for me, I probably would avoid the front wheel drive model just because I'm not a big fan of CVTs. I have heard on Glenwood Chevrolet's website that the all-wheel drive model is going to be coming with a regular automatic transmission like the 2024 Equinox had. That one was a 6-speed transmission, so I'm a lot more comfortable with a transmission like that. So I would be going with the all-wheel drive model to get that automatic transmission. And this 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder in this generation is capable of 175 horsepower and 184 pound-foot of torque. And as far as gas mileage goes, you're going to be getting 26 miles to the gallon in the city, 28 miles to the gallon on the highway, and 27 miles to the gallon combined. And you guys are going to be happy to know that the size of the Equinox's trunk has not shrunk since the last generation. The 2024 Equinox's trunk was 29.9 cubic feet of space. This is 29.8 cubic feet of space, so basically the same size trunk. This LT model does not have a power lift gate. It's just a manual lift gate, which I like better because not only is it one less thing to break, but I can also open and close this much quicker than those motors that open them. I feel like they always take forever. Now, the size of the trunk, like I said, is pretty much the same as the last generation. On the passenger side of the trunk, you do have a 12-volt plug, so if you got to plug in an air pump or a vacuum, you do have that on the passenger side of the trunk. Now, you can do this from the doors, the back doors when you open them up, but you can fold these back seats flat. You can do it from the back if you're a little taller like me, and you can reach this little handle that's at the top of the back seat. If you go ahead and push that like that, the seat will fold down just like that. I'll do the driver's side as well. And as you can see, that is a very big cargo space in there. Nice flat floor to go ahead and toss a lot of things in. And just like the Traverse, it does have a little hidden storage compartment down here where if you have a purse, something valuable, something you want to keep out of sight while you're away from the car, you can go ahead and toss that down there. All right, guys, before we hop in the back seat here, we'll go ahead and open the fuel door, take a look in there. And as you can see, there isn't any notices or any warnings that it has to take premium fuel, so you can run the 1.5 liter Turbo 4 on just 87. It just opens with the push of a button just like that. Go ahead and open up our rear door and we'll take a look in the back seat here. You'll see that the doors, just like the Ford Escape I reviewed, are pretty plain back here. I do like that they at least did make the effort of putting some padded material here with a little bit of stitching. So this section is actually kind of cool. It does look a little less plain than the Ford Escape that I tested did. Has a little door pocket down here, and these seats, I have to say, are a big improvement over the last generation of Chevy. Over the past, I feel like 7 or 8 years, pretty much any Chevy that had cloth seats, they were always really, really stiff, but they changed that with this generation. Even the new Z71 Traverse I drove, 2024 model, that one had really comfortable seats for being cloth. This one is the same deal. Not only do these look higher quality than the last generation Equinox LT's seats, but they also feel higher quality as well. They are cushier. They feel like they're gonna hold up to the test of time. They feel really good, just have that great cushiony feel that you want from a cloth seat. And there's even good legroom back here. For me, being 6'2", I do have the front seat in the same position it was just in when I was driving, and I can get behind myself here, and I still do have a couple inches of leg space there, as you can see. And in the back seat here, you will see that the rear seat passengers do have their USB chargers right there. And they also do have these little air vents down here as well to keep your rear seat passengers cool. So pretty basic space to be back here. Really nothing that special, but it is, like I said, much more comfortable seats than the last generation Equinox. All right, guys, and checking out the front seat leg space of this brand new Equinox. We'll go ahead and hop in, and I will show you that the front seat here for you taller guys, like I just said, in the back seat, I am 6'2", have pretty long legs here, and I was able to find a lot of leg room here in this brand new Equinox. I mean, as you can see, my legs are almost straight. I mean, I do have a lot of room to stretch out here. So if you are taller and you've been looking for a compact SUV that you can fit into, this is definitely going to be a good option for you. All right, guys, and checking out the front seat of the Equinox here. We'll go ahead and take a look at the door panel. Looks just like the back door did. You'll see that padded material with that cool sort of carbon fiber look to it, or whatever you want to call it. That padded material is there. Piano black trim on the door right there. All your window switches and mirror adjusters, your lock and unlock. Got your little speaker down there in all black, so pretty plain looking door design like it was in the back. And then once I sit in the driver's seat, we will go ahead and fire it up. Foot on the brake. Oh, look at that. Very nice little graphic there. That's cool. I like how that stretches between both screens. Go ahead and hit the start button. There we go. Okay, she comes to life. So I really like this new setup in here. Reminds me a lot of the brand new Chevy Traverse. It really pretty much looks almost identical, if not exactly the same system. So love the new setup in here. These air vents are really, really cool looking on both sides. You'll see they're over there as well. They do move around in a pretty cool way. So I do love the new air vents. Little strip of buttons down here, just like the new Traverse has. So you have your parking brake, you have your auto stop start if you want to shut that off. So you have those options down there. Your leather wrapped steering wheel, as you guys can see here, very, very nice. Reminds me of the steering wheel quite a bit in the new Chevy Traverse. So I really do like this new steering wheel. It is much thicker. So besides your 11-inch driver information center ahead of you, we will go over to the 11.3-inch touchscreen in the center for your radio and take a look at this. So you can see this is your radio setup. If I go into here, click that, you can switch through your sources. I always usually listen to Sirius, so we have it on BPM right now. If I hit the home button down here, it'll take us back to this screen where you can access Android Auto, Apple CarPlay if you have those plugged in. You can access the camera while you are sitting still. This one does have that HD surround vision because it does have that $1,085 safety package that we saw on the window sticker. So that surround vision is pretty darn cool. You can see as I start to turn the front wheels, you can see them start to peek out from the camera. So I do like the surround vision. For me, it's not really a necessity. I don't think I would like really care about having this, but it is pretty cool. And then if I go to your phones here, once you have your phone hooked up, obviously you'll have all your contacts in there, all that good stuff, even when your phone is not plugged in. And then you have this little options menu up in the top left. If I hit that, that is where you're going to control your fog lights, your auto high beams, whether you want that feature active or not. And then this is something that a lot of viewers have been a little disappointed about in my Colorado reviews, my Canyon reviews, my Traverse reviews. Chevy, GM as a whole, basically is going to a digital control for your headlights. So if you want to turn your headlights on manually, you do have to go into your screen like that, touch that, and then turn your headlights on like that. Or you can just leave them on auto. If you just do that, you're not probably going to be mad about that. But for somebody who manually controls their headlights, they probably will be a little bit disappointed about that. So I did want to mention that for some folks that didn't know. If I hit this third button down, it is your Google Maps button. So we'll go ahead and launch that. Review. Yes, we will open it up. Yes. Okay. And as you can see, it looks just like your Google Maps on your cell phone. This does run off of basically a Wi-Fi subscription for your car. So, like I said, 25 bucks a month, like I said up on this screen, it is to keep that running. Go back down to your radio. We did see that earlier. This button will kind of open up a split screen if you want to look at a couple things at one time. And then there's your home button again down at the bottom left. And as for the rest of the interior, I do like the Chevy went through the trouble to put that same padded material that we saw on the door over here up onto the dashboard. As you can see right there, I'll kind of zoom in for you guys. They even got some nice stitching right there. And then they do also have that same pattern on the center console here as well. And that, as you can see on the camera, is a little padded as well. I can open that up. This is a pretty deep storage cubby in here. If I go ahead and grab my Yeti for you guys, this is I think it's called a 26-ounce tumbler. Go ahead and toss that and just kind of illustrate to you guys how big this storage cubby is. And it shuts. That is, I think, I mean, maybe I'm mistaken, but I do want to say that this storage cubby is bigger than the last generation Equinox. So that is kind of cool. Go ahead and look at your cup holders. Now we'll do the Yeti test on the cup holders. Let's see. Ah, man. Okay, I mean, it kind of squeezes in if you're like careful. Like I'm not trying to break anything here, but you know, it sort of sits there. But I bet if you're, I don't know, going around some corners, it's probably not going to stay steady for very long. So it doesn't quite fit the Yeti as well as I wanted it to. Have this little tray here to toss some things. You have a little place to put your phone. I do really like this new little section they have in here. That is actually really cool. And then another section to set some things down here with your USBs to charge the phones. So that is awesome. So I think this design of this interior, very fresh, but also very safe, you know, just like the last generation Equinox was. You know, not really too offensive in the styling, just a nice basic styling that I think a lot of people are gonna like. It's exactly what you need in a car. It's not too much, it's not too little. I think Chevy really kind of did a good job at just hitting this to be the perfect Equinox. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take a drive in the Equinox here. You'll see this interesting new shifter, just like they have on the new Traverse. To put it in drive, you're just gonna go ahead and pull it towards yourself and push down. That'll put it into drive. Pull it towards yourself and push up. That'll put it into reverse. So we'll go ahead and put her in drive. We're gonna take the Equinox for a little ride here. As for steering, it is nice and light steering, just like past generations of Equinoxes have been. So any parking lot maneuvers, any drive-through maneuvers, things like that are going to be pretty easy in this. So the steering is nice and light on this model as well. And we'll go ahead and test the turning radius on the Equinox here as well. We'll see how well it does a nice quick little K-turn. Let's see here. Okay, that's good. Very easy. Very, very easy and maneuverable, just like expected. A true K-turn, no reason for additional maneuvers. And of course, while you're driving, if you guys are like me, you'll probably always want to hit your auto stop start button as soon as you get in the vehicle. And we're gonna get out into the road here and test out the acceleration on the Equinox just one more time for you guys so you can see it. Beautiful. You know what? It always blows my mind how quick these new cars are taking off. I mean, think, this is a run-of-the-mill, just kind of family SUV, and you can take off that quickly. I mean, it's just amazing to me because things like that are pretty impressive. I guess this is gonna probably date myself a little bit, but it just seems like, you know, 10 or 15 years ago that, you know, run-of-the-mill everyday cars were just not capable of acceleration like this. So this is definitely gonna be more than enough power for any of you guys that are buying it, and it feels just as quick as that 3-cylinder that I drove in the Escape, except this one I like a little bit better because it does have that one more cylinder. This is a 4-cylinder, not a 3-cylinder, so it sounds a little less coarse than the 3-cylinder in the Ford Escape did. All right, guys, now it is time for me to make my decision. Do I like the 2025 Equinox better or the 2024 Equinox better? And some weeks for my reviews, this is kind of a difficult decision, but as for this week, it was pretty easy. The 2025 Equinox is definitely the one that I would go with. Now, the only thing to remember right now is that 2024 Equinox incentives are pretty good. With these 2025 Equinoxes just hitting the lot, those incentives are really not going to be there for a little while. So if you are buying one, you're probably not going to have many incentives or rebates. You're probably going to be paying MSRP or pretty close to MSRP, and the leases on them probably will be pretty pricey. But the 2025 Equinox as a whole is a lot better than the 2024 Equinox. The radio screen in the 2024 Equinox, I believe the biggest one you could get with that was 8 inches. This new touchscreen in this 2025 model is 11.3 inches, and the driver information center has a very crisp display as well with that Google Maps or Apple Maps integration. So I really like the look of that. And then the seat comfort is much better than the last generation of Equinox. So if you are somebody who enjoys the seats in your car being comfortable, you are really going to like these seats in this 2025 Equinox. They are super comfy. The whole exterior styling is way better on this generation. I love just every angle. I really couldn't find a bad looking angle of this car. I really just love everything that they've done with this new body style 2025 Equinox. And if it were me, and I was only shopping for the Equinox, that was my favorite compact SUV to buy, I would probably wait until maybe next year or the year after that to pick this new body style up, because there's so many improvements in this. I mean, if you get this year, you might have a couple of, you know, gremlins or perhaps things that have to be worked out mechanically. But if you wait until the second model year, maybe some of those things have been figured out by now. All right, guys, that wraps it up for my review of the 2025 Chevy Equinox LT. I wanted to give a quick shout out to my friends at Bob Johnson Chevy in Leroy, New York. I will have all their info in the description down below if you want to check out their 2025 Equinox inventory as it comes in. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next new car review.